Thomas, and welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So, I didn't get a chance to get to a few stories that I really wanted to talk about yesterday, and this is one I deem rather important and rather disconcerting, to be honest. So, government scientists at U.S. climate conference terrified to speak to the press. This is from The Intercept. So, recently, at the National Conference and Global Forum on Science, Policy, and Environment, reporters were there to talk to some of the scientists. They wanted to get their take on the new administration, what they were thinking, and everything else. And the people were terrified to talk to the reporters. So it reports, one woman said, "People keep walking up to me and giving me hugs." So, like several others I spoke to for the story, she declined to tell me her name out of fear that she might suffer retaliation, including being fired. She was not being paranoid. Already, agency higher-ups had warned the EPA staff against talking to the press or even updating blogs or issuing news releases. Oh, wow. So, the directives have left scientists fearing reprisals for merely mentioning the global crisis that have been at the center of their professional lives for years. It's a topic whose name cannot be uttered, as one Forest Service employee put it to me. A nearby USDA employee offered an additional euphemism. Extreme weather events, very unusual patterns, he riffed, before turning serious. "I'm scared to talk to you," he said, turning his name tag inward and backing away from me. This is what this administration at this point has done. It has castigated the people who are at the forefront of trying to understand our world and our environment. So the article makes the point, afraid or not, many researchers continue to do their jobs. Scientists were focused on measurable and indisputable changes they've observed, how habitat changes have resulted from epidemics or plagues in prairie dogs that can spread the disease to humans, for instance, or the way that algae blooms on lakes have impacted the fishing industry. Indeed, the breadth of the climate science at the conference spoke to the absurdity that even someone as powerful as the President of the United States could undo it. Look, Donald Trump's, he's at war with reality. I mean, it's as if he believes that, and it's not even a belief. I don't know whether he believes it or not. What I do know is that for the most part, he is using a profit incentive as the impetus to essentially shut these people up. You gotta understand, Trump went into office and he's making this big claim about jobs and "I'm gonna bring your jobs back. I'm gonna beat up on China and Mexico because it's their fault that your life is having a, this economy is the way it is." It's not their fault. He's pinning his hopes on getting election in 2020 on jobs. That's what all this boils down to. Think of it this way. Trump's election showed that, for the most part, white America doesn't really care about the other demographics, providing that their economics is in the balance. Meaning, if Trump can make this argument that, yes, I'm going to be racist, I'm going to be misogynist, I'm probably going to tilt the federal arm of the law to be more authoritarian, but I'm going to bring jobs back. And so you're going to let me do all that stuff because I'm going to make sure that you have a job. The question is, can he do it? And will he bring these jobs back? I would say that's an open question. What's not an open question is what he's doing to these scientists, or at the very least what he's trying to do to the structures of government that deal with trying to protect the environment. And by extension, us, since we have to live in this environment. This is a damn shame, man. NASA scientists, I need you guys to do a little bit more than research. Now look, before I say this, I'm not one of these people who deify science. I think science is absolutely important. But I think they suffer from the same human failings as anything else. That being said, science is our best tool for trying to understand the physical world. When we look around and we're trying to make sense of what's going on, research, experimentation, evidence, those are our best tools at trying to understand where we are and what's going on around us. If he's not basing it on evidence and science, what the fuck is he basing his decisions on? I mean, that is the operative question, right? If you don't believe these guys, why don't you believe these guys? And what do you have to show you contrary information? I mean, these guys have lined up. Over 90% of the scientists have said, yes, this is real. They presented one case study after another showing that heating of the oceans, showing that melting of the ice caps, showing verifiable changes to our planet. These guys are basing what they're saying off of evidence. What are you, Donald Trump, basing your evidence on? You're basing your opinion on the cash that these guys are putting in your pocket. And you're basing it off the incentive of trying to get reelected for bringing jobs back. You're going to fail at that, by the way. And in doing so, you're going to, oh man. There was a meme out that said, if you're president or putting somebody in office requires you to essentially silence people who are telling the truth, then maybe you need to look at the guy who you're putting in office. This goes into this whole alternative facts thing. But understand, this boils down to two things: profit and getting reelected. I'm Donald Trump. I'm going to be dead in 10 years anyway. What do I care about the environment? I don't really give a shit about myself. Scientists, I need you guys to be strong on this. I need you guys to resist. You are, in this point, the arbiters of truth. And we don't necessarily set the confines of the war, meaning one particular party doesn't necessarily choose the battlefronts that they want to take on. He has decided to go to war with reality. And as the high priest of our society, you guys are in the crosshairs. I need you all to stand strong on this. I need you guys to be the protector of reality and to some degree the protector of truth. If he wants to crack down on you, you might be needed to be willing to lose your jobs, and I don't say that lightly. You need to put that information out. You need to still get that information to the public. You cannot be cowed into lying about it. You cannot be cowed into backing away from saying this is what's going on. What's at stake is too big. It's just far too big. We're talking about a disintegration of our ecosystems. Your job is far less important to that. And if you full well believe that climate change is happening, then clearly your self-interest cannot trump what's going on. I need you guys to stand strong on this. I need you guys to still put this information out. I need you guys to be willing to protest and to bitch and complain. And beyond that, I need Democrats to back these guys up. I need you to back these guys up. Because if you let these guys function as an individual, they are going to get crushed. I need you guys to stand up for them. Whatever legal, whatever promotional, hell, if you need to go to the press on their behalf and be their arbiters, I need you to do it. Stop being pussies. This is not the time. I need you guys to have a spine. All of you. All of us for that matter. I need you to have a spine, and I need you to rebuff stuff like this. This is a poor foreshadowing of what's going to come in regards to unreality that these guys are going to put out. I don't think most of the country is going to believe them, but whether most of the country believes them or not, the unreality becomes at this point an argument. You know, it's funny. In politics recently, truth doesn't really matter. Like, for instance, let's say, like CNN, one person says, the world is round. Somebody else comes on and says, no, the world is flat. CNN says, you decide. Now, CNN really didn't give you any information. I mean, CNN is the person or is the organization that has the means of financial resources in order to make that decision. But they do not make that decision. They leave it up to the people with incomplete information to judge two sides when they may not necessarily have the information necessary to judge those two sides. Yeah, we need to stop doing that. I mean, because in that model, just the very fact of having two people there makes it seem like there's an actual argument taking place. The world is not flat. There's perfect amount of evidence attesting to that. And yet, if you didn't know anything else and you just watched CNN and you saw that conversation, you may walk away thinking, I didn't realize this was a point of contention. Maybe it's a point of contention. Maybe there are two sides to this. Stand strong. Be honest. Stand for the truth. And be supportive of the people who are standing for the truth. And I'm targeting this at Democrats in all layers of government. I'm targeting this in people in general. I'm targeting this at the scientists themselves. Stand strong on this front. You got to. You are our last line in regards to this is the information that's taking place with regards to the changes of our planet. All right. Thanks, guys.